And good afternoon from the Utica Curling Channel. Roger Allett here with our Pool B Game 3 matchup between Yale 1 and Hamilton College. Top two teams in Pool B after the first two games are both undefeated. Winner of this game looks like a sure bet to advance to one of the byes into the semifinal in the championship playoff. Another undefeated team in this pool is Bowdoin 1. They're also in contention for the championship playoff with a win. 3-0 will definitely get you there. 2-1 and a good draw shot challenge will get you there as well. But today's matchup between Yale 1, they'll be playing the Red Rocks, and Hamilton, they'll be playing the Yellow Rocks. Yeah, one skipped by Tim Lee. Third, Raymond Frederick. Second, Gideon Heltzer. And lead, Harry Gold. Hamilton College skipped by Connor Wynot. Nate Cohen at third. Charlie Haberstock at second. And Jonathan Nemetz at lead. We're just about to get underway. If you've been wondering why we're not playing on sheet 5, we had a little scraper incident this morning, so sheet 5's been under repair. Hopefully be back in business tonight. We need all 6 sheets with our 8 p.m. quarterfinals. And we'll be back with you then at 8 o'clock to broadcast one of the championship quarterfinal games. 6 teams advance into the championship playoff. The next 6 advanced into a second division playoff, and the next 6 after that into a third division playoff. All single elimination. Top 2 teams in each bracket get a bye into the semifinals. Teams will flip for hammer here in this third pool play game. Once teams advance to the playoffs, the highest ranked team by win-loss and draw shot challenge will have the hammer advantage in the red stones. So everybody can sit back and enjoy this key matchup here in Pool B. And we're off to the races. Hamilton College playing the Yellow Rocks going first. Yale with Red Rocks will have the last rock advantage here in the first end. Center guard placed by Jonathan Nemetz. Jonathan curls on our Monday Night League team. Currently undefeated. And he also curled with us in the first half of the season as well on one of our league teams. Keep you up to date with other scores across the rink as well. The other key matchup is over on sheet 4, where Bowdoin is vying against RPI 1. RPI 1 is 1-1. Win would probably set them up for potential to be in the championship playoff. Bowdoin 1 would certainly be in with a win with a 2-0 record. Come around the 10th by Jonathan. Just bites the rings, top 12. Skip Tim Lee of Yale is going to ignore that stone and come around the other side. Harry Gold with his second. Came up a bit short now, so advantage Hamilton. They can draw another one in. Charlie Haberstock is also playing in our men's leagues here at the Utica Curling Club. Hamilton College curls out of our curling club, a member of the Collegiate Curling Association. We have our local collegiate curling club. It includes Syracuse, Hamilton, SUNY Poly, and Colgate. Nice come around by Charlie. Right to the top four, almost T-line, buried. Hamilton lies two, off to a good start here in the first end without hammer. Those guards are pretty high. I would guess you could probably dig that rock off the tee line with the in-turn if you threw down weight. Tim Lee's going to have Gideon Heltzer remove this rock on the top four. This does not look to have enough weight. It's like it's just going to punch the Hamilton stone in underneath. Freezes up to shot stone, and now big advantage to Hamilton. They've got two buried behind two high center guards. I'd love to drop one top eight here right behind those center guards to protect those stones on the tee line. Charlie with his second. Sweepers are working this over. They're certainly going to cover the outturned side. Boy, they almost dragged that underneath. That stone's in a good spot. Takeout attempt sailed a bit wide. Again, punched the Hamilton stone underneath. And they sit three now. Trouble brewing for Yale. Looking at three buried. Nate Cohen now looking just to plug the hole for this outturn draw path. Just got out a little wide. Is trying to come back. It wicks off that red stone. It might not be too bad. Not altogether bad there. It's tightened up the draw port just a little bit. I think Yale really needs to clear those center guards. Could have done that a while back. They desperately need to open up those two shot stones on the forefoot. Raymond Frederick with his first, looking to clear out some guards. Hit this red one on the high side. Should lose all the guards and the shooter. This is going to over curl. Going to run the yellow. Where's that going to go? Just misses. The 2 stones on the 4-foot. Didn't really change much. Now I think Hamilton's got a couple choices. They could play the in-turn come around. They could go around this side and protect their shot stones. Or they could try to block off this draw path. Nate Cohen's just going to block off this out-turn draw path. This one's a little tighter than the last one. And a little heavier. Don't want to go deep here. That'll just give Yale a chance to get out of jail here. Want to take this one all the way back. Well, Hamilton showed them the way. If they want to make that draw, they know how to make it. They know the ice and the path. And Yale's going to try to make that draw to the 4. So Raymond Frederick looking to draw the 4-foot here, at least cut things down, maybe get shot stone. Little speed wobble coming out. Sweeper's indicating this is a little heavy, and it's a little wide too. Just going to bump up the yellow stone. And it put that yellow stone in a perfect spot for Hamilton. They don't need to do another thing on this side. Now would be a great time to come around this end turn side, but you don't want to move any guards. Do not touch that red guard. You want to come around. The only way Yale can cut you down is to play this end turn. You don't really need to guard the middle. That middle is clogged up. There's nothing useful that Yale can do on the outturn side. No one's looking at this in-turn draw. I think it's there. Yale should be able to cut Hamilton down to 2 if they can make that draw. Connor, why not just looking to throw a guard? You're skipping a team and you're throwing guards. You know your team's played well in front of you. This is going to be fine, I think. The sweepers can drag it. Just over. Good enough. Nothing doing on this side. No one's looking at the in-turn. Yale in a peck of trouble this end. Hamilton sitting 5. And no easy way in for Skip Tim Lee. Tim Lee looking just to move some yellows around here. Either open up a path or leave a red stone he can raise later. Oh. And he fell down coming out of the hack. That's a delivered stone. Once you cross the tee line, that's a delivered stone. Very unfortunate situation for Skip Tim Lee. Slipped coming out of the hack, crossed the tee line. That makes it a delivered stone. There's no oopsies allowed by the rules. And so that stone is out of play, having not crossed the near hog line. Now last rock for Hamilton here in the first end. No one's still looking at that in-turn side. So just throwing a guard. Don't really need to touch anything out here. And that'll be okay. Not many options now for Yale. I think they're going to be forced to look at the in-turn now. I think their only option now is to play this in-turn, come around, and hope they can cut Hamilton down to 2. Right now, Hamilton's sitting 5. Last rock, first end. Tim Lee for Yale, looking to cut down Hamilton College, who's sitting 5. And this one doesn't have the legs, nor is it going to get by. It's going to be a steal of 5 for Hamilton College. They're off to a huge start here in this feature matchup. Tough start for Yale. They'll have to regroup in the second and try to grab a deuce. It's still early. If you're going to get behind big, do it early. Give yourself time to catch up. Second in, Hamilton College staked to a big lead. Yale playing the Red Rocks. They'll have the last rock advantage here in the second end. Yale needs some corner guards now. Harry Gold up. Yale lead. Trying to get something in play to hide around. Line looks great here. Just over the hog line. Usable. Jonathan Nemitz's second shot also heavy. This is going to go to the back of the house as well. Chance to take advantage of the free guard zone here, the 5-rock rule. Get another guard in play. I think they're asking Harry Gold to stack another corner guard. This one looks like it may be going to the back. Hamilton doesn't need those rocks in the back. They're better gone than they are hanging on the back 12, where they only help Yale. And that freezes right in the pocket. Well, that'll be a hard rock to get rid of. The 5-point lead in the high guard, there's no reason not to bang that red rock and get rid of some of that backing. And you don't want that red rock to come back and bite you later in the end. Now a chance for Yale to go around the corner guard and sit 2. And we'll go a long way to getting a deuce set up this end. And the rock made the top 8, but it's wide open. Regardless, it has to go. Just don't want to jam it in the back. Make sure you hit this high or low. If you clip a yellow on the way by, that would be a good deal. Oh, this is really wide. More weight than you need. They might get it backwards here. Might get the angle raise. And they do get the angle raise. A little lucky there. Threw that one pretty wide, but got lucky by catching the corner guard. He'll change things up a bit. Instead of going around the corner, they decided to freeze on shot stone. That's going to bounce away. And now that's a pretty straightforward open hit now for Hamilton. I don't think a freeze would be my first choice. Getting rid of those red rocks with a 5-point lead should be your priority. This looks more like takeout weight. Might have to sweep to hold the line here. And that'll work out better for Hamilton. Should have been the call anyway to remove that from play. We talked about this on the webcast many times. If there's hardly any instance in the curling game where you don't want to try to sit 1 and 2 with or without hammer. After that shot, Hamilton does now sit 1 and 2, and that yellow rock is not the easiest thing to remove. Potential jams on those 3 rocks in the back of the rings. There is a double, though. Catch that top rock about a half a rock, you get a double. This one's going to overcurl. And this will jam in the back on the red. And got rid of the troublesome yellow that was holding that red into the rings. Good news for Yale is they rolled for shot. And that red's going nowhere. So probably no choice now for Hamilton but to freeze. Angle is perfect on that Yale shot stone. Any attempt to remove it from play, it'll come off the yellow it's next to, and it'll jam on those rocks in the back. Oh, the weight was right. This is just going to overcurl a hair. Good effort. Hamilton is shot, but the angles are not great for them. Come down and freeze to that pocket again and probably sit 1 and 2. Frederick with the freeze attempt. This one looks pretty toasty. But I think you can throw that freeze again. No, they're just throwing the freeze. Once again, the angles kind of favor Yale, trying to remove that red stone. Probably jams in the back. It's very close. If you ever tried to hit this red stone, I think it goes off that yellow, maybe. Hamill's just looking to freeze right on top of the red. And the freeze attempt is very light. Now a chance for Yale to sit 1 and 2. They can split the house, go under the corner guard. Yale should go around this way, sit 1-2. Could also just split the house open. Set 1-2, force Hamilton to chase. You should have a shot at a deuce. They're going to try to go top 8, top 4 above their shot stone. But that should give Hamilton an opportunity to remove that red rock. It's not going to be protected by anything. But Yale will still have a chance at a deuce here. First, you got to make this shot. This looks a little heavy. It's going to freeze right up to shot stone. Not a bad spot. I think you can remove the back red, though. If you hit the top one, I think the back red goes far enough back. So if you hit the top one and stick right there, this one is going to go back on that yellow. But that should go back far enough that Yale will only sit 1. Certainly worth a try here. I think you want to stick right on the nose, though. And they're going to come inside out. Well, they're going to. That's a lot of. This is pretty risky. They're going to throw the freeze again. If you make it, it's great. If you don't make it, you probably drop 3 here. And this is very wide. It's going to crash the guard. Now a chance for Yale to get 3 back here in the second end. Yeah, I thought the conservative play there was just not a gimme if you sat right on top. Now a chance for 3 for Yale. Just need to draw the 8-foot. Last rock, second end. Tim Lee for Yale. Trying to score 3, just needs the 8-foot. Come to his own rocks, line looks perfect. Doesn't need any sweeping. And that's a 3 spot. Nicely done by Yale. Set up by a nice 2 freezes. And a draw for 3. After 2 ends of play, it's 5-3 Hamilton over Yale. Hamilton playing the Yellow Rocks. They'll have the last rock advantage in the third end. Another scores across the rink. Over on sheet 1, Penn leads Bowdoin 2-1-0 after 1. Penn State 2 leads Syracuse 2-1-0 after 1. Over on sheet 4, Bowdoin 1, undefeated team in Pool B. They lead RPI 1-2-0 after 2. And over on sheet 6, RIT 2 leads Navy 1-0 after 1. You're caught up with the scores all across the rink here at the Utica Curling Club. Lead Harry Gold with his first. Hard to say. He's close to being on, I think. Not sure what the call was. I think they were just trying to go around. This one was a bit narrow. Going to be a corner guard. Going to work out well for Hamilton. Now lead Harry Gold for Yale. He hails out of West Simsbury, Connecticut, curls out of Nutmeg. He's been curling for 3 years. And when he's not curling, he bakes challah. Good for him. He says hello to his mom and his grandma. Jonathan Nemitz lead for Hamilton. He curls out of the Utica Curling Club, curling in a couple men's leagues this year. From Bustling Ridge, New Jersey. He's been curling for a couple of years. And this one's way out there. Gonna hang on to the rings for shot rock. But a couple of hooked center guards in play for Yale. Gideon Helser now up for Yale, playing second. Also curls out of Nutmeg. Hometown is Chicago, Illinois. Curled for a couple of years. But he's not curling, he's broom stacking. He must spend his whole time in a curling club. Got shot stone, but looks like it's open and accessible. So Charlie Haberstock should be able to take that out. Charlie's also curling in the men's leagues here at Utica Curling Club. Hails from, according to him, he's not curling, he's sleeping, and he says hello to his mom. Well, if they hold this would be a great shot. Not sure they can get by. Can they get it by? Can they get it by? Yes, they got it by and get a little roll. Nice shot there by Charlie Haberstock. Nice weight. Sweepers did a great job holding the line. Hamilton is shot stone. They're sitting 1 and 2. Question is what Yale wants to do here. I think they're going to just draw around. This is way wide, way out there. Just tickled the Yellowstone on the way by. Now a chance for Hamilton to dunk one in. Looks a little heavy. The line's not bad. They're going to have to sweep to get it by. If they do get it by, I think it's going to be heavy. It's just going to crack the guard. Raymond Frederick for Yale, looking to draw around here. Raymond curls out Nutmeg, also hails from Glendale, California. Been curling for 3 years. When he's not curling, he's looking at Portuguese man award genomes. Undergraduate research, I love it. He says hello to Naomi. That draw attempt went through, so now a chance for Hamilton to sink one. Who's going to be first hog to the trough here? Who gets to the 4 foot first? It's Nate Cohen for Hamilton. It's out of Great Neck, New York. He's curled since his freshman year as well. And he's not curling, he's biking, hiking, eating, and sleeping. And he says hello to Drake, his notorious Labradoodle. A little bit better weight here. Gonna go to the back of the rings and not gonna hang on. So a couple heavy draws now by both teams. Ice is speeding up down that path. Who's gonna get there first? Raymond Frederick's gonna try it again. Ice is running really fast here. And this one's going to join the party in the back of the rings or back of the house. Third or fourth rock. Doesn't matter, it's not counting. Hamilton College still sits 1 and 2. They're going to try again. Who's going to make this one? They've had the right line each time, just a little heavy. Need to throw this pretty soft. Nate Cohen with his attempt now. And I think this one's another heavy. Sweepers haven't laid a broom to it. You're thinking about it. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. And that one's in the back house. Is it going to stick on that red? It did. Well, Hamilton sits 3, but they're behind T-line and top 8. So a good draw here can save the day for Yale. Someone needs to stick one on the top 4. Whoever can do that will have a leg up. All right, Tim Lee with his first. Another curler on a nutmeg. Hometown's Beaverton, Oregon. Curled for a couple of years. Likes to hibernate when he's not curling. So wants to say hello to Ezra Stiles. His first rock here in the third end. And another heavy draw. This one misses everything. No, it just clips the yellow, but it rolls too far. So Hamilton's still sitting 3. Someone has to make this draw. Maybe it'll be Connor, why not? Skip for Hamilton College. It's out of Pleasantville, New York. Been curling 3 years. When he's not curling, he's playing ultimate frisbee, soccer, and volleyball. He says hello to Nika. Needs to make a good one here. Good one here puts Hamilton College in a great spot. Yeah, if you're not buried top 12, if you get buried, you can go top 8, top 4. And we'll put Yale in a pickle. I mean, Yale can always hit and roll off that rock on the outside in the back 8. I like going full 8, almost 4 foot here. Get at least half under, so Yale can't hit and roll under. This looks like better weight. It's on a wider path too. It might be slower out here. Just looks like it's lightning quick. I think this is pretty much where he wanted the stone. Wanted to go top 12. He is top 12. Not sure he got shot rock there. They kind of let that die. Did throw a wider pass, so the sweepers have to be alert that he wasn't on that fast track. I think Hamilton's only sitting 3. I think the Yale rock in the back 12 is 4th rock. But the rock just thrown by Connor can certainly be raised. And Yale can't do much with it. This is Tim Lee's last. He's got to figure out where he's going to draw. He's going to have to throw this wide in turn. Tim Lee's going to try to go around everything. If you make it, it's great, but the downside here is this is going to be unknown ice. No one's thrown along this path, I don't think, the whole game. It could be very slow. It could be very straight way out on the edge here. So this kind of shot is usually a pig in a poke. See what Tim Lee comes up with here. Big shot here in the 3rd end for Tim Lee. His last rock here in the 3rd end. One more to come from Hamilton. Got to put this in for shot rock, and this is over curling already. And it is stiff out there where he threw. Maybe a little inexperience there. You have to know, if you haven't played this path all game, it's got to be really slow. You've probably got to throw 1 or 2 seconds faster than you would down the worn paths. Now a chance for Hamilton to score a big end here. Just a draw or a tap here will get Hamilton 4. They only need to be full 12. Tell you what, if you throw it just right, you could probably split that rock on the top 12 end for 5. This is just going to be a straight draw. Hopefully not too heavy. Sweepers haven't put a brush on it. Starting to lock in. And it's going to settle in the back 8, and that's going to be a big 4 spot for Hamilton. Another crooked number. They're looking around. I think it's only 4. Yeah, the top yellow looks only to be about half in. The one in the back seems to be about 3/4 in, so. Oh, they may measure. Oh, they're going to push it. 9-3 Hamilton after 3 ends. We don't need guards up 6. I'd make Yale throw their own guards. Nothing wrong with going in top 4 here. Trading hits won't help Yale. The rock is on the center line, so it's subject to the no-tick rule. And another heavy draw down this path. Need to remove some stones from play. Probably wish they didn't have that center guard now. Don't need guards when you're up 6. You get rid of your own guard to be fine here. Sweeping hard to get this by the guard. Plenty of room. In order scores around the rink, Penn leads Bowdoin 2-6-1 over on sheet 1 after 3 ends. Penn State, Syracuse 2. Oh, there's been a score update. Syracuse 2 took 3. They lead 4-1 after 3. Bowdoin 1 leads RPI 1 3-0 after 3. That's our undefeated team. And RIT 2 leads Navy 1 over in our feature sheet here. On sheet 3, Hamilton leads 9-3. Yale with the Red Rocks, they've got the last rock advantage this end here in the 4th. Hamilton's guarding up their shot stone in the top 8. Don't want to overcurl this. And it did overcurl a hair. So shot stone is quite gettable. Yale can hit and roll under. They can come around that guard and hit and roll underneath the center guard. That rock will go away. Probably better to draw in for Hamilton or chase that rock on the back 12. Again, they're up a bunch. They don't need many more points. They just need to prevent Yale from scoring a big end. This looks like a great shot if they can get by. And they're by. Going to get a nose hit. Now Hamilton's got no choice but to chase the red stones. They're debating drawing, but I think it's not a choice. You can't let these red rocks build up. Yale just showed them the way. They just threw the shot. Line looks pretty good. And that'll be enough to get rid of it. No harm done. But Yale with a chance to lie two now, buried around that center guard. And a great draw. Little deep, but we'll take it right to the button around the center guard. Great shot by Raymond Frederick. Now Nate Cohen try to remove shot stone. If you clip the guard, that's going to be okay here. You need to open up access to these red stones. And that's fine. No harm there. Get things open. There's a double on those reds. Couple options for Yale. You can go around the corner guard. Hate guarding up the middle with hammer. The only problem with that is if the other team can throw a freeze, they cut down the scoring area for getting your deuce. This won't be a guard. This is going to come in. And that'll leave a pretty juicy double, I think, for Hamilton. You can draw to the pocket, but boy, you're leaving a lot of rocks in play. You got to think about your lead. With a 6-point lead, hit this red stone on that side. This one goes, and that one goes. You don't make the double here. You just want to hit and roll in front. And this is pretty wide. Want to make sure you get rid of a stone. It's coming up now. It's going to jam in the back, though. Maybe. Yep. Curled up just enough. As it stands, they're probably not looking at giving up more than 2 if they can make the rest of their shots. Yale needs to hit and roll away somewhere. If nose hit the yellow, they're going to leave a double. They can't hit it high, they'll lose their red. I think ideally they want to roll over here. See if I can draw that better. Hit this one on the center line side. Roll it as far as you can. See if you can get it under the corner guard. A little bit of a precision shot here. With this first, looking to make a little precision hit. It's not heavy. This is really just a hair off nose. Connor can hit this just a hair off nose. Both of these reds will go out of play. Just a shade high. Main thing is make sure you get 1 here. A good miss would be to hit and roll this way in front of that red stone on the back button. Even though you're not shot, that would be a tough rock to remove. As long as you get rid of 1 rock here, you can't give up more than 2. But you got to hang around with the shooter, otherwise they can take the yellow rock off at the top 12, and that would be for 3. I'm going to set this one back a little bit. Coming back. It's close. Oh, just hit it a little thick. Yeah, the shooter had to come up. It was wide from the get-go. Almost got back to where it needed to be. It needed to be just a shade off nose. So this will be an open hit for 2. Oh, maybe only 1. Looks like Hamilton's sitting second and third. Oh, my. It's just a simple draw for 2. That makes more sense. Last rock, 4th end. Tim Lee looking to grab his deuce here after an attempted double by Hamilton's Connor Wynot. This is going to be heavy. Don't know, need to sweep the other one. It'll be good enough. And that's 2 for Yale. So we're 9-5 after 4. We're at the midway break here at the GNCC College Curling Championships. Top 2 finishers in this event get a bid to the USA Curling College Championship in Midland, Michigan. And it's time to acknowledge our sponsors for this GNCC College Curling Championship 2025 edition. I'd like to thank Brooms Up Curling, supplier of curling supplies and supporter of college curling going way back. They've donated some brooms for a raffle here that some lucky team participating in this event will win. and we thank them for their support of college curling. We also thank the Hannaford Supermarkets of Clinton and New Hartford, Price Chopper Supermarket in Hamilton, New York, Duncan in Hamilton, New York. Their munchkins were very tasty this morning. Kept our curlers fed and full of energy. Hamilton Whole Foods in Hamilton, New York, and Burn Dairy of Hamilton, New York. We thank them for their support of college curling and this event. We got ourselves a 9-5 game here. Heading into the fifth end. Hamilton College playing the Yellow Rocks. They'll have the hammer here in the fifth with a 4-point lead. All crooked numbers so far. 5s and 4s and 2s, no singles. In other scores around the rink, Penn still leads Bowdoin 2-6-1 over on sheet 1 after 3 ends of play. Syracuse 2 leads Penn State 2 4-2 after 4. Bowdoin 1 leads RPI 1 3-1 after 4. RIT 2 leads Navy 2 4-2 after 4. Our feature game is 9-5, Hamilton leading Yale 1. In a matchup of undefeated teams here in Pool B. After this game, all the teams will be sorted by the win-loss record and their draw shot challenge to populate 3 different playoff brackets. Top 6 will go into the championship bracket. The next 6 will go into our second division bracket, and the last 6 will go into our bottom bracket. Single elimination playoffs. Top 2 teams in each bracket get a bye into the semifinals. Winner of this game is likely to get a bye right into the semis based on their one-loss record and their DSC. These 2 teams are both 2-0, and they have the top DSCs in Pool B. And there's only one undefeated team in Pool A, so 3-0 gets you in. Winner of this game probably gets a bye. So a big game for both teams. Yale's probably in win or lose, but of course they'd like the better seed, and you certainly want the bye into the semis. One less game to play to make the final. Charlie Haberstock with a draw. This line is great if they can get it by, but I just don't know if they've got enough weight here. Still grinding on it. And they got shot stone. And it's buried. Great drag by the sweepers. Jonathan Emmets and Nate Cohen, they dragged that stone just far enough to get shot stone. Now Gideon Heltzer going to come around the other way. See if he can make it better. This one's moving hard. I don't know if they're going to get it by. That's going to crash. Now a chance for Charlie Haberstock to come around that out-turn side. If he can get around the out-turn side, then Yale won't have an easy way in. And Hamilton's got the last rock advantage this end. Really put some pressure on here if they can dump this one top 8, top 4. Charlie Haberstock with a second. They might have to sweep to get this one by. This one's really tight. And it's too late now. They may raise the red. This is very heavy. Might want to sweep it just to hold it out, keep it on an angle. And Connor did kind of catch on quickly and kept him back on to keep from squirting that one in the rings. Now Hamilton could raise that stone that's just outside of the house, just touching the 12-foot, but it's hard to get to. Hard to get to with tap weight. It's a pretty tight port for a draw shot. And it might be easier just to go around.
Get it deep. Here we go, chap. Here we go. I don't know if I have that, because it'll run out unless we do the like. I don't know if that's fair though. You okay?
Raymond Frederick with a tap attempt here. Trying to find the right way to get through this port. This one's going to over curl. Oh, it lost the handle and backed up.
I might have it. I mean, this is hammer. I don't know. What do you All right, let's do it.
Now, if you're Hamilton, you can't like that stone biting the top 12, but it's a little bit dangerous to remove. Yeah, they're going to ignore it. Let Yale figure out how to deal with it. They're going to come around top 4 now. Trying to sit 1 and 2. No, sweeper saying is heavy. They don't like this one. And it's also way out there. It's not going to curl back from there with that weight. Through the house weight. Now Raymond Frederick will try to promote that red stone in the top 12. Got more room now. Should be a little easier. Again, it's tight again. Gonna have to go hard to get around these guards. Not sure they're getting by. Oh, just got by. Did get shot stone, but it is open. You'll have to watch the jam in the back. The stone's accessible. You just want to make sure it goes beyond that red one. Don't want to jam it on this red stone in the back. One thing you don't want to do here is chip that guard into your shot stone. That would be disastrous. Even if you had a half a rock here, you'll be good. You lose your shooter, but you'll get rid of that red stone. Line looks pretty good. Don't want to get too cute with it here. Got a half a rock. Now you're going to have to go. Didn't have a lot of weight. Moved it just far enough. Could have thrown a little more weight there. It would have been nice. That was probably hack weight. So Hamilton still shot stone, buried. Yale's probably looking at a draw somewhere. The outturn draw is a little tight because that yellow guard's in the way. This yellow guard is in the way of this draw. Makes it a little bit tougher. I think it's there, but it's tight. Plenty of room on this in-turn, though. The only downside there is this yellow stone is already top 8, so getting around this yellow stone might mean you have to go behind the tee line to get buried. If you think you can make this out-turn draw, that would be gold if you can come around this right-hand side. I think you can get buried above tee line there, but you've got to navigate that yellow guard on the outside. It'd be really tight to that coming into the house. Looks like they might be trying to chase the shot stone out. Sitting behind the glass here, you can only see maybe 1/8 of that yellow stone peeking out. If you could squirt that yellow out, not sure it helps you a ton because there's still a bunch of guards in play you can draw around. But here we go. Tim Lee. Looks like he's just playing a draw. He's certainly wide of the broom on that shot. And it's running out there. This looks like it's pretty heavy. And going to chip himself out maybe. Yep. A lot of yellow back there, a lot of red back there, but unfortunately it's all behind tee line. And Hamilton's still buried in the shot rock. Ideal spot for Hamilton is right there. By top 4, half under that yellow. Just come around there. Anything but behind tee line and don't come up next to your yellow rock and leave a double. Looks like a lot of ice for this shot. They're pretty far out in the straight zone of this sheet. And they bring it in a little bit. What you don't want to do is leave Yale with a chance to hit and roll to the 4-foot. It's not heavy. And it's also not curling much. And it got out into the straight zone of the sheet. I'd go ahead and bring that up. And I don't think there's an in-turn draw anymore on this side. That's cut off the draw path. I think Yale's got an opportunity to set a pile here if they can raise their red stone. If they hit like a half of that red onto the yellow, The question is, can they get the yellow past any of those red stones? There's jams everywhere in the back. This is a tough shot to get shot rock. Got to run that red into the yellow and hope you can get it through the rings. If you do that, you'll sit 4. Hamilton have a relatively easy draw, but nothing is for sure. Hate to draw against 4 when you're up 4. Tough decision now for Tim Lee of Yale. They need to manufacture some points. They're down 4. So they're going to try to run this red rock into the yellow. See if they can sit a bunch. That will leave Hamilton with a draw to get their single here in the 5th end. Big shot for Yale here. Tim Lee looking for an angle raise takeout. Line's close. And I think it's over curled already. No, he made it. Straightened right out. But shot rock's wide open. Hit and stick for 1. Bread and butter shot for Skips. Hit and stick. Don't want to overthrow this. Easy control, weight, let it curl, let the brooms control the curl. And you got a ton of catchers. If you hit it low. You got lots of catchers over here. Big shot for Hamilton. Yale sitting 4, but exposed. Connor, why not? Last rock. 5th end. Nice control weight here. Haven't laid a broom to it. Oh, he pitched it out. Is it going to curl back? They're trying to push it. Needs to spin it on. Needs to spin it on. Oh, he pitched it wide. That's going to be a steal of 4. And we got us a tie game. All tied up 9-9 after 5. Hamilton with the yellow rocks. They'll have the last rock advantage here in the 6th end. Do have the advantage coming home there. They've got, well, I would say they have 2 hammers to 1, but it looks like from the game clock, we've got 1 hour, 50 minutes to finish 7 ends. We're not on a pace. Not on a pace to finish 7 ends in 1 hour 50. So it looks like we only have 2 ends to play. But Hamilton will have the last rock advantage here in the 6th end, which looks to be the next to last end to play. open end going here in the 6th. Not sure that's to Yale's advantage. You know, the open end favors Hamilton. They get a blank this end. They can take the hammer coming home in 7, which will be the last end. And Jonathan being asked to put a corner guard up here. Try to set up a deuce this end. Hamilton's going to be aggressive with a hammer. Corner guard attempt. Sails through the rings. So no rod. We're back to an open end again. And other scores around the sheets. Over on sheet 1, we have a score update. Penn now leads 7-3 over Bowdoin 2. That's after 5 ends of play. Syracuse 2 leads Penn State 2 5-2 after 5. Bowdoin leads RPI 1. Bowdoin 1 leads RPI 1 4-1 after 5. And we're all knotted up in sheet 6. Navy 1 and RIT 2, they're all tied at 4. Again after 5 ends of play. All games in the 6th end now. Looks like they're all going to make 7 ends in this draw. Well, that's not ideal. Hamilton just threw a center guard for Yale. Certainly didn't want that. Want that guard on the corner. Now the middle's blocked off, and a good chance for Yale to set up a steal. Gideon Heltzer with the come-around attempt. This is pretty wide. Going to stop somewhere behind T-line. Going to go back 4. And that'll have to go. So empty house, another chance for Yale to get around the center guard. Raymond Frederick's turn to make the come around. That's a pretty good shot right around top 4. It is partly exposed on the outturn side. I think you try to chase it off and make sure you play it tight. If you clip the guard, that works. You need to throw pretty soft weight at this. Make sure that you're not wide. If you're a little tight and clip the guard, that works. Clean miss here would be bad news. Gonna have to go soon. They're gonna crash the guard. Don't want to nose it. Might get a straight tap up here. Probably should let that come up a little bit. It's not in a bad spot, actually. But that wasn't hack weight. That was more like T-line weight. But that yellow rock's now hard to deal with. And I think the red rock is still accessible. With hack weight on the outturn side, I think Yale will have to come around that side to guard their shot rock. But they can be got from both ways. Hamilton can run their own yellow end to get rid of shot stone. I think Yale they actually have to come in and freeze to their own. This looks pretty good. A corner on the yellow would be golden. All right. Hamilton's now looking at running the yellow end of the red. The good news that where that red rock is, I don't think they can hit their yellow rock wrong. If they hit where they can see, they'll push their Yellowstone right in for shot. If they overcurl, they're going to crash the top red, and that's not a bad result either. You need to catch all you can see. Wide is not what you want to do here. And just threw that too wide. Got to miss that one tight. So now I think Yale's got to guard the in-turn path, the one Hamilton just tried to use. They're not out of the woods. I think the shot rock can still be chipped off with a lightweight come around. The only question is, which one do you think's easier, the direct tap back or the angle raise off the yellow? That might be a helpful rock for Hamilton College if they can come down and hit this thin. You can jam here, and this one goes. You might be able to sit two, but for sure, if you hit everything you can see of that yellow, you'll be shot stone. You don't need a ton of weight here, just control weight. Probably looking to hit half a rock here. Roll the shooter in front of the stone on the tee line. They have a lot of options to get a deuce here. First rock, 6 in for Cardinal. Why not? Skip for Hamilton College. Can't be wide here. Got a curl. And threw it out again. Trying to curl it. Got to take tighter line on these. Can miss it tight, good things happen. Now another chance for Yale to cover things up. I think that's the easiest way for Hamilton to score. They just need to cover this side. I think Hamilton would be happy either way if somebody scores this end. So if they give up one, they're down one with coming home with a chance to grab a deuce. If they score one this end, they're up one. Hope to get a force and maybe an extra end. So I think Hamilton College is still in good shape. Yale can put a lot of pressure on them here with a good guard. Really put pressure on if they drop this one on the 4-foot. Line looks terrific here. But now they've given an out to Hamilton. They can hit and roll off that stone. They need to make sure they get their single. Just a hit and roll. It's only for a single, no double available. Two minutes left on the game clock. They've got plenty of time to finish this end and start the 7th. Even if you hit this on the nose and double out the 2 reds, you give up only 1 here. And you're still with hammer last end, down 1. So not a bad situation. Up 1 without, down 1 with, about 50-50 winning chances either way. Just got to make sure one of those red stones goes away or you roll in for shot. Last rock, 6th end. Connor, why not? Oh, we got this one out again. Is it going to come back? You got to make sure you get rid of 1 stone here. And he's going to get the stone out. So a steal of 1. No harm done. Yale takes a 1-point lead here, 10-9 after 6, and our last and final end. Hamilton will have the last rock advantage. Down one. Should be an exciting finish here in our B pool qualifier game. The winner is probably off to the semifinal in the championship playoff tomorrow morning. Loser is probably still in the playoff, but will have to play in a quarterfinal tonight at 8 o'clock. Other scores around the sheets. Penn leads Bowdoin 2-7-3 after 5. They're just finishing up their 6th. Syracuse 2 leads Penn State 2-6-2 after 6. Bowdoin 1 leads 6-1 after 6. Not sure if they're playing on. There seems to be a lot of confusion over on the sheet. No, it looks like that is a final. Bowdoin 1 with the win to go 3-0. They punched their ticket to the championship playoff championship event. And over on sheet 6, a big 6-ender by RIT2. And they win their game 10-4 and make that a final. We're geared up for an exciting finish here over on sheet 3 between Yale 1 and Hamilton. Checking a stone to see if it's on the center line for the no-tick rule. Well, the Skips have reached a decision. Not sure we know what it is, but so Hamilton College down 1 here with hammer in the last end to be played. They need corner guards or to come around, so they elected to throw a corner guard, Jonathan Emmets. And this one looks heavy. Probably could have swept that and come around the center. Going to be just short of the house. Oh, they just barely got that by. Great sweep by the Hamilton squad. And if that rock was on the center line, that would have been a no-tick violation. Everything would have come back. So super job getting that by. Would have been catastrophic to have wrecked on the guard. And now Hamilton set up for their deuce pretty well. And that rock on the just outside the top 12, they can easily raise or split that on. So Yale under a little bit of pressure now. After lead rocks. So Gideon Heltzer with a come-around attempt. This rock is coming up fast. I don't know if they're going to get by. Just going to tick the guard. Just tickled it. And rolled into the rings. Their second rock. And I don't think Hamilton needs to guard. You want to bring another one in. They need to score 2 this end. Nothing wrong with running off that red rock and sitting 2. And we mentioned this on the webcast many, many times. Anytime you can sit 1-2, it's usually not wrong, with or without hammer. This one's going to be, I think it's heavy. Boy, if you get it by, tuck it under, it's gold. Just going to rub the guard. Well, they've covered up shot stone, but the problem is now Yale can angle raise their red rock into the rings. And that might be difficult to remove. You hate guarding up the middle with hammer. Guarding the middle with hammer often cuts off your opportunity to score that second rock. So Yale looking to tip this one in, but this was thrown a little wide, and I think it would be very wise for Hamilton to run that red rock off now while they have the opportunity. Don't want to see that red rock on the forefoot, because if they give Yale a couple of chances, they'll angle raise it in. Not sure why they don't want to hit that red rock. That red rock is wide open. And it's a danger rock for Hamilton. That's going to be used. I'm afraid if they keep guarding, they're not going to have an option to score their deuce. They're blocking off all their draw paths. Don't want to do Yale's work for them, and they just may have. They did freeze, though. That's helpful. But I think Yale's just going to double tap it themselves. And now you might be in a world of trouble if you're Hamilton. Too many guards up with hammer. Yale taps this up. There'll be a wall of granite in front of it. You'll have to start running your yellow stones in. Hamilton's bottled themselves up. All they've got now is a raise on their center stone. Or they could rip the red, lose the yellow, and hope that they open it up enough they can get to shot stone. Right now they've got no access to shot stone. There are 3 guards in front of it. Yeah, Hamilton's got to get things opened up. They plugged themselves up in this end. Could have removed that red rock early in the end and eliminated the threat. They left it around too long, and Yale tapped it up for shot. The good news is it's only on the 8 foot, so they should be able to outdraw it. Well, you don't want to throw lightweight here. If you catch their yellow, you may get shot rock out of play. This is really close. And just not enough weight. Did move it to the back 4, though. But now the scoring area is even smaller for Hamilton. Now their only option may be this long angle raise. All Hamilton's got left is this long angle raise on this yellow onto shot stone. Yale can guard that up here. And that guard will be, well, I don't know. It might have lined it up. And I think they did. They lined it up onto, they've loaded the gun. They loaded the gun. Whoops. Loaded the gun on shot stone. They hit that red rock anywhere. I think yellow goes straight back on the shot stone. Brought that guard a little too close, and angles are almost perfect, I think. Regardless, I think you have to play this to open up a path. They're not looking at it. It's absolutely lined up. They're going to play the double yellow angle raise. This is actually harder. The other one's lined up perfect. And this is wide. Can't be wide. You got to be tight, if anything. You got to move some rocks. Never even looked at that red-yellow combo. It is absolutely lined up on shot stone. Last rock, last end for Yale's Tim Lee. Trying to throw a guard. Even if you bump that yellow-red combo around, just unload the gun if you can. And they did mess up the angle now, so that's no longer there. So the only option now is probably the double yellow run. That's a really tough shot. You can do the double run or you can do the double tap. Double tap's probably easier. Just need to get it onto the forefoot. Straight back. Straight back with back four weight. Got to hit the top one on the nose. Send that back. Whoops. See if I can get my telestrator to work. Hit that one on the nose. Straight back. Push that into the forefoots. That's what you're looking at. Last rock, last end for Hamilton. Connor Wynot looking to extend the game one more end. Full extra end in case of a tie. Needs a single. Double tap for one. And this is already over curled. And it's too light. And make it a final 11-9 Yale. Comeback win for them. They were down 5-0 early. Oh, there's more rocks to come. Another guard is in order. Still lots of promotes here. And there's also an in-turn draw. This draw is still there. This is the last rock for Tim Lee for Yale on this last end. Throwing another guard on this outturn side. The in-turn draw is still there for Hamilton. No change on that side. End turn draw is there. And they're looking at coming through this port, but that's really tight. Not sure you can curl through there. Not looking at the wide in turn draw. Seems to be there. You come by the top yellow with the foot of room, there seems to be no reason you couldn't get a grab a piece of the forefoot. This is absolutely there. Yeah, this is the right call. There's plenty of room. I like the ice. They're going to have to sweep it early to hold it out, then it should break nice. Need to get by the top yellow by about a rock. Wouldn't think too long. The ice is frosting up. They're conflicted between coming through the port or playing the wide in turn draw. Pick one. Pick one and throw it. I think the takeout through the port is almost impossible. They're going to go for the takeout. It's a tight port. Have to throw a bullet to get through here. All right, last rock, last end. Over curled already. And it's a steal of 1. Yale wins 11-9 after being down 5. Make it a final. We'll be back with you at the quarterfinals at 8 p.m. Matchups yet to be determined. We have to put all the results of the pool play through our discombobulator and find out who's playing where. You can always check out the results at collegiatecurling.org for the latest results. Until then, this is Roger Roulette. Have a good evening until 8 o'clock, and we'll see you for the quarterfinals.